In relation to these things, valuing the voice, respecting the language, is this issue of, I mean, in the interview, Phil took clearly a very keen interest in what Jack was trying to say and understanding Jack. And if Jack found it difficult to come up with something, Phil would ask him what are called prompting questions. That is to help him not to just think down one sort of way. So what about this thing about developing genuine curiosity? Because this is the third of the commitments to being working in this sort of way.
I think Phil showed his genuine interest, partly in the way he behaved. He had a gentle approach, but he was always encouraging. He kept looking at Jack, and he didn't all the time look at his form. He had his form on the table, and he was looking at Jack, responding, reacting to what he was saying, and he really looked and sounded genuinely interested.
And that really showed up as the interview progressed, I think.
I agree.
Initially it was like Jack, was asking questions of the nurse. So he was consulting the nurse, and then it turned it on its head. And whereas the nurse was in a more sort of humble position, if you like, and he was asking questions, finding out about Jack, the expert by experience. So he was having a consultation with Jack, and so I think that levelled the playing field a bit there as well.
I think the nurse showed positive active listening skills, and I like the way, and this is tied up with the actual getting the authentic voice of Jack written down, but he actually affirmed and reconfirmed what Jack was saying, and that's all part of active listening.
And it shows that active curiosity, that he didn't actually use any of his own words, but literally used the words, even though at one point where he said, am I putting words into your mouth, where he would have used something better to make the sentence, he said, oh no, perhaps not, and actually used his words, which I think would be more important, because then that person's going to feel important. You know, you could have used a fancy word here, but you didn't, you used mine. And I think that would help.